I've been asked to speak about two very distinct topics on enlightenment and wealth creation. I'm not a financial strategist. I am a mystic. I'm a mystic who's explored consciousness. Let me give you a glimpse of how consciousness works. And you can determine how do you create wealth from this understanding on how consciousness works. There are 4 laws of consciousness, which I will be going into later part of this morning. Let me talk about what it is to live life first. There's everybody asking this question, what is the role of my life? If you really don't discover your role and your responsibility in your life, you would see yourself always moving between fear of life, and on the other end, it would be longing for pleasure. And your life would be wasted, oscillating between fear of living and longing for pleasure. Is this the way we want to live our lives? Or is there another way? Let me talk about 2 dharmas that I have, 2 responsibilities that I have. One is responsibility towards my daughter. Ever since we conceived her, the vision is to bring forward or bring into the world a child who's awakened, a child who's joyful, who's fearless, who's uncomplicated, and who can bring great joy into this world, who can be a light to the lives of many. And the second dharma, which occupies the entirety of our lives, Krishnaji's and my life, is our dharma to create 78,000 people who live in an enlightened consciousness. Our vision is to create 78,000 Buddhas walking this world. Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means to have 78,000 Buddhas in this world? How the world would be if we have 78,000 Buddhas? We have seen if 0.001% of humanity lives in that enlightened state, then there would be a phase transition in human consciousness, be a revolution in consciousness. And that is our vision. But why enlightenment? Do you have an answer for that? If you look at the world the way it is right now, there is separation, there is conflict, there is division, there is loads of unhappiness in everybody's life. We make a lot of progress in the external world, technological progress. But we destroy inner beauty. We make progress to get to Mars today. But what is the consciousness with which we are entering Mars is the question. It is the same consciousness which is divided. It is the same consciousness which feels separate. It is the same consciousness which is in conflict. And it is with that same consciousness we would be entering Mars very soon. We have created a very beautiful reality, metaverse. But it is the same competition, same greed, same confusion, same doubt in that new reality that we are creating. And what is the solution to this? Do we want to progress, or do we want our progress to be lopsided, which has the potential to destroy everything that we have created? Or are we looking at something very different? How many of you can agree to me that we cannot live our life this way? Thank you. Enlightenment is the solution to every problem that the world is seeing today. Because any solution that we create from a conflicted mind, any progress that we create from a divided consciousness, cannot be a solution, because it is going to perpetuate conflict, it is going to perpetuate division. It is not going to be a different world. Externally, yes, probably more comfortable, more luxurious, but internally, no. It is the pain, it is the same suffering. Every enlightened person had a beginning, a very different beginning, a different awakening. Let me talk to you a little about myself. When I was 9 years old, I didn't have an awakening experience where I can say I had that experience and because of which I'm driven. I had a powerful realization when I was 9. And that realization was that the world was not experiencing people the way I was. The separation between me and the other was very thin. I could feel the other. I could feel my sister. I could feel my parents. I could feel my friends. I could feel the people around me. The realization at 9 was, oh, the world is not able to be there. People are not able to feel the other. People are, the word I'm using right now, I wouldn't have used it then probably, but the gist of it is people are so self-engrossed. Of course, after that, I've had many experiences of realization, powerful awakening experiences being with Sri Krishnaji for so many years. Explored the mysteries of consciousness. And today I am here in front of all of you to let you know that there is a different way to live life, not necessary from a state of suffering, division, and conflict. So, what is enlightenment? Yes, being awake, being aware. Enlightenment is a state where you are totally free of suffering. It is a total cessation of suffering. It is an incredible state where you are aware of every form, or every route that leads you into suffering. It is liberation. It is an experience of freedom. It is where you are alive to every moment. It has been the oldest celebrated human experience. It is also the oldest pursuit or the ultimate pursuit of humanity. Humanity has seen the rise and fall of many civilizations, both noble and not so noble. Rise and fall of many cultures, many languages, many lifestyles. But this quest remains. It has not gone. It has survived. It has been there through different conditions, through prosperity, through drought. It has been there through peace. It has been there through war. It has been there all the time. And this would be the solution, or this would be the catalyst. Enlightenment would be the catalyst for arriving at unity, which humanity has longed for ever. Because in an enlightened state, there is no division. In an enlightened state, all there is oneness. Enlightenment has been a pathless land for many, many years, or many, many thousands of years. Sri Krishnaji and I present a path to every seeker. We have 5 stages in that path. The first stage is you become conscious. You become conscious of your actions. You become conscious of your words. That is why the society has laid for you a lot of code of conduct. It's supposed to move you to become conscious of what you're doing, the words that you're using. And this, I would say, is the very first stage. The second stage on this path is becoming aware. That is, you become aware of your state from which you perform those actions. You become aware of your state from which you use those words. Say you're performing loving and kind actions. You become aware of your beautiful state, your joy, love, compassion, connection. And say your hurtful actions, your unkind actions. You become aware of your state, your greed, your ambition, your fear, your hate, your disappointment. This is the second stage. And this is where the beautiful state starts. The third stage, which is beyond the beautiful state, is where the entire Western psychology is focused on, which is healing, releasing of traumas. The third stage is transformation, where your heart comes alive, where there is the healing happening in your heart. Your heart comes alive to feel the other. You're able to connect to the other. You're able to be there for the other. There is an awareness of the other being part of your life. You're not separate all the time. That is the third stage. The fourth stage is awakening, where awakening, as the word says, you are woken up. You are woken up from your deep slumber. You are woken up to experience life. You're woken up from your daydreams. You're woken up from your daymares. After you're woken up, then you become a true seeker of enlightenment. Because you have an awakening experience, You have had a glimpse of what it is to live free of suffering. You have a glimpse of what it is to be awake, what it is to be present. And then you become a seeker of enlightenment. And the fifth stage is enlightenment. Enlightenment, where suffering cannot touch you. Freedom from that inner thought noise, inner commentaries, inner judgments, which is tainting every experience of life, of your life right now. As you're relating, as you're working, as you're even listening to me, there is this constant thought noise, that inner noise. Enlightenment is to be free of that inner noise. And in that pure experience of being, you experience powerful states of great peace, great delight, great compassion. It flows in your consciousness. That is enlightenment. Talk about an enlightened person. What is the image you're getting? Somebody sitting under a tree and not doing anything in life, just relaxing. That's not what I do, for sure. I can do that also. You can be sitting in a couch, you can be sitting under a tree, but you live life not feeling bored. Because there is so much of joy in every experience of life. Every moment, you're being present. You're free of that inner thought noise. Do you think enlightened people don't have thoughts? There is thought in that enlightened state. But it is not a compulsive thought. You're not compulsively pushed into a past. You're not compulsively pushed into a future. But you definitely have the freedom to pick up information. That is the purpose of thought. Pure, unadulterated information. So there is thought. Enlightened person don't have memories. Is that true? They do have memories, but memories that are not loaded with charge. You can go back to a past, you can pick up an information and use it for the present. You can go back to your past at your will and you can plan for the future. But you're not pushed into the past. And your memory does not have charge. Right now, if you can observe a little about yourself, you don't have any freedom because you're pushed either into a past fearful experience or you're pushed into expecting something very fearful to happen in the future. You move into regret of the past or you move into fear of future. That is your life. There is a question that comes to Krishnaji often. What is the purpose of life? What do you think is the purpose of life? Your mission, your dreams. That is the role of your career. That is what you want to do with your life. You can pick anything that you want to do with your life, anywhere, anything that you're good at, anything that can serve others. But purpose of life is not that. What is the purpose of life? Yes. To connect and collaborate. Beautiful state. Be yourself. To leave the world in a better place. Finding oneself. To find yourself. The purpose of one's life is to live every moment. Unadulterated by your thought, your incessant thought noise. Fully liberated from your judgments, your commentaries, your justifications. Being free of that inner clutter and to be present. Every moment lived in that enlightened state is purpose realized in that moment. There was a young artist who was there in India, who went through this 4-day enlightenment journey called tapas. He was an artist. An artist definitely was a great seeker because he was trying to find that whole and complete moment of life, because he's had a lot of fame, a lot of achievements, but still that feeling of lack, feeling that he has not completely experienced life continued. On this journey, seekers meditate all night, they reflect all night, they let through a mystic reflection. And as he was looking at his thinking, that it was compulsively moving towards past, it was moving towards future, not allowing him to grasp that very moment. As he was observing it, on that night, suddenly he screamed. He says, "Ah, this is breathing." After some time, he screamed, "Ah, this is listening." Everybody around him knew it, that he had made it. He had seen. He knew what it is to live this very moment. And if you believe enlightenment is only for the elitist or the spiritual elite, it is not true. If you believe that enlightenment is going to move you into inaction, that also is not true. When you are enlightened, you perform actions. The action that you perform is complete. When you're enlightened, you perform actions that include the well-being of the other. You perform actions which is filled with intelligence, creativity. You perform actions that does not perpetuate conflict. And when you perform actions, you are free of fear, you are free of confusion. In one line, you would be a genius. We have young people come from all over the world to find out what is the purpose of life, to learn, to know what it is to live life. We have young couples coming to begin their lives from the state of enlightenment because they don't want to build life from a state of suffering. They don't want to build relationship from suffering. If not for the state of enlightenment, if not for this liberation, there is a lingering discontent, a lingering dissatisfaction in everything that you in life. And that is why you ask back this question again and again. What is the purpose? I thought I discovered my purpose, but it's not working. Still, that incomplete feeling is there. That dissatisfaction in everything that I do is there. I have a beautiful family, but I'm feeling empty. I have a great career, but I feel meaningless. The solution for this discontent, the solution for this dissatisfaction is enlightenment. It is liberation. It is freedom from that incessant thought noise, which is not allowing you to experience a moment completely. Not able to experience a moment completely. You are left feeling dissatisfied with everything. And you believe, there is this sense of believing, a belief that if I achieve more, probably I'll feel more fulfilled. Probably that is what is wrong with me. You go ahead and achieve more. But I'm sure many of you would have realized already that it is not a solution to the dissatisfaction that you're feeling. Greater contribution, greater generosity does not allow you to experience contentment and satisfaction in life. Are you able to understand? If you have this feeling of discontent, if you have at least realized that it is not filling that lack or that meaninglessness, please know it is a wake-up call for you. It is an alarm that is set for you to pursue the path of enlightenment. Because solution to discontent, solution to dissatisfaction, not only yours, solution to the division and conflict of the world, it is enlightenment. Before we move on to the next part, I want you to close your eyes for a few moments and just breathe. Just bring attention to the movement of your breath as you inhale and exhale. Sri Krishnaji and me is not to create hermits, but to create enlightened individuals who live enlightened lives, who are enlightened entrepreneurs, enlightened leaders, enlightened parents. We want to create individuals who can be in life and live in enlightened states. So what happens when you live in enlightened state? It has come to the mystic dimension of consciousness for you to acquire wealth now. Let me share with you the 4 laws. Before getting into it, let me share this insight from Sri Krishnaji. Many leaders across the world experience a moment of epiphany when they hear this insight. I'm sure you've heard this insight many times. What Sri Krishnaji says is, every individual lives only in one of 2 states of being at any point of time in life. You are either living in a state of suffering or a state of no suffering. Sri Krishnaji says, when Sri Krishnaji means suffering, it is not limited to sadness. It is definitely any disturbing state, fear, anger, frustration, suffering, anxiety, everything, sadness, everything. And when it is no suffering, it begins with a beautiful state. It begins with a beautiful state where you experience a little joy, a little calm, a little love, a little connection. But it has to grow. It has to grow into experiencing awakened states. It has to grow into living in enlightened states. So beautiful state is just the beginning of your path towards enlightenment, on your journey towards an experience of living your life from no suffering states. This being clear to all of you, I don't think I need to give more explanation. Let me go into the first law of consciousness. There is messages that is being sent across the universe. There is messages, communication happening between one species and the other species. There's communication happening between one species and then one species and the other species. There's communication happening between all the species and the whole, which is the universe. How do you think you are communicating to this vast field or the vast fabric of consciousness? You are communicating. You're not communicating through your actions. You're not communicating through your words. You are communicating through your state of being. When you are in stressful states, when you are in suffering states, please know that is the communication, that is the message you are sending to this fabric of consciousness. And in that suffering state, what communication you're sending is, I am open to problems. I am open to chaos to flow into my lives. When you live in states of no suffering, definitely when you live in beautiful states, you're communicating that you're open to harmony, that you're open to order. When you live in awakened states, that communication is very strong. When you live in enlightened states, the barrier between thought and reality is very thin. And what you intend, what you want, becomes a reality in your life. In no suffering states, you are communicating that you are open. You're open to order. You're open to harmony. So, that being the case, take into consideration your last 1 week, past week. What is the communication that you have sent to this vast fabric of consciousness? What have you invited in your life, into your life? Let us move into the second law of consciousness. The second law is, as your thinking revolves around yourself in suffering states, as you begin to feel separate from the other, you are inviting chaos and you are battling with life. When your thinking is expanded in a beautiful state, at least to include somebody next to you, in an awakened state, the expansion is not only with people, but with other lives. And in enlightened state, the expansion is the entire universe. In those states, this universe is your friend, not creating obstacles, not creating disasters, not creating challenges all the time. Let me just give you an analogy to explain this. When a cell in your body declares independence, you call it a rogue cell. Yes? This rogue cell can be dangerous to the body. So the entire body comes to make sure that this rogue cell doesn't exist, because it is going to destroy the body. In your state of suffering, you don't openly proclaim being separate, but that is the communication that is happening. And you do not receive any help in that state of suffering from the universe. You do not receive help. The third law, the chaos that sits in one aspect of life actually floods into the other aspects of life. That is, say you're having, your relationship is in trouble. It doesn't stick to that compartment alone. It spreads to your health. It spreads to your finances. Because they're not watertight compartments. This being scary, let me give you the other side of it. If you're able to work on your state of being, if you're awake in your consciousness, if you move towards enlightenment, that order that is set in this area of life also spreads into every other area of life, into your relationships, into your wealth creation, into your health. The fourth law of consciousness, Consciousness is more like the subatomic world, where the effect precedes the cause. In this world, you always see as there is a cause and then the effect. But in the subatomic world, it is different. The effect precedes the cause. You believe that you would experience great fulfillment in your relationship if you find the right partner. You believe that once you achieve so much, then you would be fulfilled in that aspect of life. That's not true. Once you learn the art of living every moment, once you are able to be present to life, uncluttered by your thought noise, experiencing that inner freedom, then you would see you're able to find the right partner who can bring great love into your life. Then you're able to create achievements without struggling, without trying to fill a pot which doesn't have a bottom. You experience great fulfillment in your life when you begin to live life, begin to live every moment. And from that moment, you create wealth, you nurture relationships, experience a body free of disease, and you begin to live. I've shared with you 4 laws of consciousness. And from these 4 laws, I want you to interpret, I want you to think, I want you to reflect on how to create wealth. I'm not going to do that. We will now move into a blessing. This blessing is for you to fulfill your heartfelt desire. Close your eyes.
Please hold your body still for this sacred time of blessing. Do not move. As Shri Preethaji leads you into the blessing, the immensity of the power of divine will enter your lives. Hold your intention, the blessing you're seeking, very clearly in your consciousness. Holding your body still, you may open your eyes and steadily look at Shri Preethaji. As you see Shri Preethaji, internally ask Shri Preethaji to bless you, that this intention must become a reality. Please close your eyes. Continue to be still. Bring your attention to your heart and simply be as the blessing flows to you from Shri Preethaji.
Sohamekam, 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 Hamsasohamekam. 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 Hamsasohamekam.
Swastir bhavatu. Mangalam bhavatu. You may slowly open your eyes. Wonderful being this morning with you. Blessings that you live an enlightened life, free of suffering. Love to all. Namaste.